Hello, and welcome to this week's Profit Maximizing Moment. This show is dedicated to helping business owners dramatically improve their bottom line with our weekly profit maximizing tips that you can use now. I'm your host and coach, Wayne Belisle. I'm also the founder of a local CPA firm that works with business owners, help them make more money and keep more of what they make away from the IRS. I do that with our profit coaching programs and our tax planning systems, which have saved my clients well over $7.5 million now in the last 5, 6 years, all legally. Like I say every week, love my clients, but don't wish to share a jail cell with them. Anyways, in today's video, kind of going to repeat some of what we did last week, because last week we talked about selling to your current customer, because they're the easiest ones to buy, the easiest ones to sell, because they already know you, like you, and trust you. We're going to follow up on that a little bit. We're going to talk about how to dramatically increase your sales without spending anything on advertising. Okay, and some of this is going to be repetition, which I'm not against. If something's very good and worth saying once, it's worth saying a second, third, and fourth time until people get it. Okay, but this week's video is brought to you by Profit Maximizing Publishing, which published my book, The 90-Day Profit Reset. Excuse me, jeez. Which allows you to, which shows you how to gain your independence from reduced cash flow, shrinking margins, and evaporating customer base. Book's full of chapter after chapter and idea after idea about how to turn around your business from red to black in 90 days or less, or just increase your profits. All right. So today, let's talk. When I start consulting with a client, first place we start is, without a doubt, we talk about increasing sales to current customers and prospects. If you did not see last week's video, go see it, because I talk about that in detail. Because without a doubt, it's the fastest way to grow a business is to increase your current customers and prospects, people that are coming in this door. Amazingly, like I said, that's one area that that many businesses ignore. All right, they just don't pay attention to it. There's benefits to selling to your current customers, other than the fact that these people already know you, like you, and trust you. Hopefully, the additional sale or work they need is often much more fun and profitable. So you're actually helping them, because you're selling above and beyond what the basics are. Especially if you're in the consulting side. If you're in the service side, instead of just providing a tax return, we're helping them make more money. We're helping them cut their taxes. All right, so that's much more interesting, much more rewarding than just, here's your tax return, here's a financial statement for the bank. The second big reason to do this, when you concentrate on meeting your best customers' needs, you make it almost impossible for your competitors to steal them from you. If you're worried about the internet, or you're worried about your clients, if you're taking care of them and offering them and solving their problems, you're making it pretty dang hard. One of the things we do a financial statement analysis when we do a business tax returns. That's something I have never heard anybody else doing, not locally. So, they're getting not just a tax return, but here's what this means for your business. Okay. Third, they're much more likely to refer their friends to you, since people tend to be friends with people similar to them. The quality of the referral is going to be much higher. Now, what you need to do if you want to increase sales without spending a ton of money is work on the sales formula, the sales process. There's really 4 areas of that. The first thing is to convert a higher percentage of prospects into paying customers. And you start by counting how many prospects. Yeah, you got to do a little math. You can't fix something if you don't measure it. All right. So you count how many prospects you meet with, or how many people are walking in the door if you're retail, and then find out the percentage of those that actually turn into customers. So how many are you closing? All right. When I started, truthfully, about a third of the prospects I met with were turning into paying customers. Started measuring that, working on improving that. Now my number's above 80%. And in fact, truthfully, I'm in an enviable position right now of turning away customers who are not good fit for me. So in truth, I would say I'm closing 95% of the ones that walk in that I feel are good. Not everybody says yes, but the vast majority of them do, by a lot. So by measuring it and then taking steps to improve it, I've done dramatic things. All right. Here's some of the steps that you can use to improve turning your prospects into paying customers. Identify every first contact point with a prospect. Determine what the goal of the first contact is. Is it to sell? Is it to educate? Is it get a meeting with them? Plan accordingly. Okay. Impress upon everyone who has first contact with the customer, with the prospect, they're not a customer yet, that your goal is to get a customer for life. You're not looking for a one-time sale. You want a customer for life. In a future video, we're going to talk about the lifetime value of a customer and why that's important. But trust me right now, that's much more important. Script out the first contact in detail until I don't need to do that anymore. I have that written down. I mean, I've done it so many times it's in my head. But as I teach people, I will write it out. Too often, the first contact with a prospect is made with a sales clerk or receptionist. And I do have that where they've worked with them. They know I've worked with her and she knows what to do. They're not usually trained in sales. It just makes me cringe when good advertising and marketing and online presence brings in a prospect into the store or they call them and the first person that they meet, I've had it happen. So have you. You walk into a store and the first person who greets you or way too often ignores you makes a bad first impression. You just spent a lot of money to get a prospect in and you didn't do enough to even get to say hi. Okay, measure your new closing rate to see if there's an improvement. If not, determine why not. Make one more change to the process, measure again, and repeat. It's a long-term prospect, but the idea is getting it from where I was closing a third to well over 90%. Didn't happen overnight. It really didn't, and I actually hired coaches to help me with that. So heck, if you need help, call me. Number two, turn your first time customers into long term customers who come back frequently. This is all too often left to chance. Get a plan in place to wow your prospects, that first time customer, in a way that they will never consider anyone else. Think of this as a first date where you and your staff are on your best behavior. Give that new customer your undivided attention and really work to determine, listen to this, really work to determine their real needs. All right. And and how you can solve their problems, even if that's not you. I mean, I can't tell you how many times I'm like, yeah, you got a problem here. This really isn't something I do. Let me refer you. All right. Give your customer an incentive to return. I'm sorry. Contact your best customers and ask them what they like best about buying with you. Also, contact customers who only bought once and never returned. Find out what you could have done differently to make them return. Sometimes they just forgot about you. I've had that happen to me. Give your customers an incentive to return. That works. Frequent buyer programs, customer discounts, special events for your best customers are some of the common ways to accomplish this. Nowadays, it's much easier than it used to be. All right. You can get an app made pretty easily. Get a Starbucks ad. I like the local coffee place better, but check their app and you'll see how they work. Educate your customers regularly on how your product or service improves their life. Say this over again. Follow me. Ready? An educated customer buys more. Put that down somewhere. An educated customer buys more. Don't let your customers believe you don't care about them. Stay in contact. Emails to customers, print newsletters work pretty well. Anything. Remember, your customers are not walking around thinking about you every minute of the day. Thinking about when's the next time I'll have the pleasure of giving Wayne Blau some of my money. In fact, they are bombarded with so many sales messages in an average day that they may have already forgotten about you. All right. Or, yeah, I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. I've had that where I called somebody, yeah, I meant to call you and I didn't get to it. Third thing you do is every time the customer comes back, you're going to try to increase their basket. You're going to increase their order size. Plan an event in advance what related products you will offer during the sales process. When McDonald's trained their employees to ask, do you want fries with that? They perfected upselling to the point that it became a running joke with many people, but it worked. I talked about Amazon last week. I talked about both these examples. Amazon, if you buy anything, down at the bottom it'll be other people who bought this also looked at this. All right, bought this. How many times have you purchased the recommended add-ons? I'm sure it's happened. If nothing else, you've looked at it. So when they're buying something, what should they be thinking about buying with it? Look, you have a duty to do that. All right. They bought this, they should offer this. All right. Train yourself and your staff to ask the right questions that will lead to add-on sales. Be sure that they know to offer the added product as a solution to the problem the customer may not even know they have. After all, remember what I said, educated customers buy more, teach them. All right. After all, listen, you are the expert, you should be the expert in your product or service and know what other products they may need. And in fact, it could be argued that you have a responsibility, truthfully, to offer the add on product that truly solves a problem. You may actually know a problem they're going to run into before they do. It happens to me a lot. I've been working with small businesses forever. So when somebody comes in they just started a business or they've been in business for a year or two, I can predict almost what kind of problems they're going to run into. So I kind of, hey, watch out for this, watch out for that. We need to think about this. I'm planting seeds for when the problem comes. It's like, yeah, wait, tell me about that. We should call them to see how to solve this. Fourth thing then is review your current customer list with an eye towards identifying customers that need customer needs that you can offer a solution to. Start with your largest client, the 80-20 rule. All right. In most businesses, 80% of the sales are coming from 20% of the customer. It's only obvious you should start to sell them first. Remember, again, I said it, and I say it again. These people already know you, like you, and trust you. All right. See what they see what heck, if nothing else, ask them, hey, how's it going? What's going on? I don't know your business, so I can't, but we could sit down and design these questions. Finally, fifth thing you do on the sales cycle is entice your customers to refer their friends, families, and associates. I talked about this last week. The best way to get that is to get referrals to do a great job solving their needs and problems in a way that's both enjoyable and convenient, at least convenient, so that people want to brag to their friends about it. Make sure you wow them. Then simply ask them for the referral. But don't just ask them for names of people you can contact. I don't want you asking me, hey, I'm selling insurance. You know anybody needs insurance? I'm not going to give your name away. I'm not going to sick you on my friends or my family. But if they ask me like, hey, anybody who's started a business needs health insurance, maybe I can give them a better quote. Or if you're a photographer, you have know anybody getting married, had a wedding, had a first child. Think about that. Okay, that's more likely. Those type of questions are more likely to get a referral. And then, of course, reward the referral, offer an incentive for the referral, a discount, maybe, whatever. It doesn't matter. Now, I know all of this seems like a lot of work, and in fact, it is. But the rewards of doing the work are huge. I've worked with numerous business owners that, without spending a dime in advertising and following these 5 steps that I listed here, have increased sales 25 to 100% without any additional cost. Look, watch last week's video and this week. There's some duplication, but I'm going a little bit deeper in some this week and in some things I said last week. But the key is, last week I concentrated mainly on selling to current customers. This week I'm talking about how to improve all 5 steps of the sales funnel, of the sales part of the profit formula. All right. Hey, until next time, first of all, enjoy your July 4th. Be safe. If you have pets, man, watch out. Keep them inside. So I read that there's more dogs get loose on July 4th because they get freaked out from the fireworks. So keep your dog safe. Keep your cat safe. Keep yourself safe. And God bless. Have a great July 4th. And I look forward to talking to you next week. Thank you very much.